Okay, so where is the A7 IV? I wanted to do this video for you, and I don't like to speculate a lot, but some things are starting to come together here, and I'm a bit excited about it. Now, of course, we've been waiting for this camera for, well, years now. Pretty much ever since probably a year after the A7 III came out. Now, if you do follow kind of the timeline of Sony cameras, we know that the A7 series, it does take a little bit longer than the other series. And in that time that we've been waiting, we've seen the A9 II, we've seen the A7R4, both incredible cameras, but really not super asked for, I would say. Now, the A7 IV is going to be a camera that it's just the camera that I need in my life. I'm the definition of a hybrid shooter, and I think it hits the mark for so many people. Now, even today's day and age, the A7 III is still phenomenal. It's still my go-to every single day. I'm filming on it now. It's amazing. So here's what I think. And I want to discuss a few things. Some of the rumors, of course, that are floating around. Some of them are getting a little bit more stable, we'll say. And we can probably understand what we can expect out of this thing now a little bit more realistically. And I wanted to talk to you about an email that I got, a kind of an anonymous email about maybe some timing of the A7 IV. So here's the thing. With COVID, of course, it's been an absolute gong show to try and get anything. Parts for pretty much everything is just non-existent. So of course we've seen delays in everything from car radios to cameras to everything. We know that. Now, when COVID started, it kind of sounded like Sony was maybe getting ready to ramp up the release of the A7 IV. There wasn't too much competition, and we'd really like to see the A7 IV blow the competition out of the water like the A7 III. It really set the bar and still holds true to this day. But here's the thing. Now, in this day and age, what they wanted to release a year and a half ago is really not gonna cut it. So they're probably going to have to go back to the drawing board if they didn't have the resources available to release when they wanted to. And now they have to kind of run to catch up here, where Canon, Nikon, and we've seen some pretty good cameras come out lately and really recently. So now Sony really has to go ahead and once again set the bar. Make sure that this camera wows us, because the last thing that we want is to be underwhelmed by the A7 IV. I think that would be absolutely devastating, and it would take a big hit for them on the mirrorless market. That's my thinking behind all of this, waiting, and why hasn't it been released. And well, I think it has to be the right camera, and I think it has to be a step above of everything that's out right now. And of course, it at least has to meet the expectations of everything else that's come out. So what do we know for sure? Well, we know that it's most likely now going to be over 24 megapixels. It sounds like it's going to be 30 to 33 megapixel, a brand new sensor, hopefully some new sensor tech with some new dynamic range, hopefully faster shooting. And what about the very angled screen? What about the flip screen? I'm really not convinced that they're going to actually throw that thing in, because of course we need 4K 60, that's non-negotiable, but that's what we needed last year. So what does this camera actually have to be as it becomes more and more and drags on and on? It's got to actually compete with some of the crazy stuff. We've got the A1, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. The A7S III, of course, is your video-tailored beast, but low megapixels, fantastic in low light. It's got the flip screen. So where does this little A7 IV actually fit in now? That's what I want to kind of gauge at this point. A year ago it was different, and now I'm thinking that it has to be kind of next level. We have to look at some crazy sensor tech, maybe introduce some really great options, some color science, and throw video and photo into a camera on a very high level that's just going to blow us all away. So yeah, I'm really hoping for about maybe 32 megapixels. That'd be great for me. Still have some cropping power, but also still really good in low light. And really, I'm not super picky. I just want kind of really good at everything, but not the best, of course. I will completely settle for that. But as this drags on, it gets a little bit more painful. But when are we going to see it? When is this thing finally going to drop? Well, I did get an anonymous email from somebody. I don't know whether it's a subscriber or somebody else, maybe internally, but it looks like from what they're saying that they're going to maybe see this thing come out in October. Late September, early October is what I've been told here. And if you remember last year, we had some crazy releases. Just everything was just amazing around October, November of last year. So I'm kind of hoping that's the same thing. Obviously, it's a little bit slower this year and we're kind of struggling to keep up with everything, but that's what I've heard. So fingers crossed. Again, I got to take this with a grain of salt because we've really not had many concrete leaks of this thing whatsoever, which is a bit rare. So that kind of leads me to believe that we still have a little bit of waiting to do, but I'd really love to see it this year. Honestly, I use my A7 III so much and so extensively that it's feeling old. It's looking old. So I'm ready. I love this thing to death, but Sony, let's get going on the next generation. Let's wow us. And of course, guys, let me know what you guys think out of this camera now. What does it need to be now, opposed to your thoughts on it 6 months or a year ago? Because we're way further ahead than when we thought this thing would actually be out. So drop it down in the comments. Appreciate you guys so much, and I know I haven't been around too much. I'm going through a lot of stuff right now on a personal level, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, a little bit of speculation and fun. As always, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some more pictures. See you soon.